I liked it. What, it's Star Wars. It's got puppets, it's got spaceships, it's got lasers. The fuck do you people want? Hey look guys, we've been over this. Star Wars was an experimental, auteur-driven, game-changing, unique space movie that accidentally became a big deal one time for one movie. After that, every movie and TV show and Star Wars thing after that has been a series of IP-driven projects adapted from a line of Kenner action figures based on that one movie. Now, exactly two of those movies have been actual great films that elevated the blockbuster format and were bigger and better and whatnot, but it's exactly two of those. The rest are mostly pretty good. The rest of the Star Wars shows and movies, games, book, whatever things, mostly pretty good. Most of the Star Wars is pretty good. There's one unique, special, game-changing Star Wars movie, and it's the original. There's two great films, and the rest of it, pretty good. And this is one of the pretty good ones. This is great. I had a good time with this. It's got a cool space guy who does cool space guy stuff. It's got cool aliens and alien fighting, alien laser stuff, spaceships zipping around, people getting shot at with lasers, arena fights, monsters, daring do, pulp serial shit. I'm pretty sure there were two robots that were done with stop motion or animated to look like they were done with stop motion. Either way, that's cool. That's badass as hell. CGI looks pretty good. I wish it was more colorful. I wish they'd stop doing this gray-brown stuff to hide the seams of the CGI. Don't try to hide the seams in CGI. If you're going to use CGI, just use CGI and show it to me. But it looks very cool. The cool space guy throws the puppet at stuff. There's whole stretches of this that's mostly the puppet just being a puppet and doing puppet stuff. I love just watching him and the other puppets just walk around and be puppets. There are big stretches of this movie that are just puppets doing puppet shit. Climbing up walls as puppets, puppets talking to other puppets and making puppet noises. Very little English dialogue between each other, and even unsubtitles, just things looking at each other going, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, and making alien noises at each other. I live for that. I would watch a whole movie that's just the Star Wars aliens making Star Wars noises at each other. Just aliens making squawk noises at each other, and then spaceships flying around and shooting each other with lasers. That's the shit. That's all I want to see out of this. That is the stuff. That is the raw, uncut stuff, and that is like 80% of the good parts of this movie. And this movie's about like 90% good. And the parts that aren't are just like minor nitpicky stuff. It's a little long, but not like that too much a little long. I think it's barely over 2 hours. I probably could have seen it knocked out in 90 minutes, but it's that kind of movie. It's got a weird act structure. It does very much feel like they kind of said, okay, we're just going to speed through the first half of what might have been another season of the show. But that ends up kind of working as a plus, because I kept thinking, man, I don't know if we're at the end of the movie or not. I don't know what's going to happen next. When was the last time I could not predict when the end of the movie might be? Not often. That is actual tension. What an unfamiliar feeling for a film critic, honestly. And in real seriousness, do you know what I honestly enjoyed about this as someone who does, professionally and as a fan, follow as best able the Star Wars stuff? I didn't have to remember shit about the TV show or anything else in the Star Wars continuity of stuff. Even though I basically do, I didn't have to watch this movie. That is my honest, like, best selling point of this, which I imagine some people will bitch about. I can imagine a lot of complaining and whining in the... I haven't read any other reviews for this yet, but I can imagine so much complaining is going to happen about this that there is no continuum or lore or previously on The Mandalorian or setting up for the next movie. There is nothing going on in this that feels like, oh, they're going to pick that up in the show. Oh, that's a lore drop for the next week. None. There is none going on here. I could not tell you, other than just by general assumption, that this must take place after the most recent episodes of the show, where this, if you told me that this happened in the middle of the first season of the show, or after season 3, or during the Book of Boba Fett, or at some point in season 3, or in the middle of season 2, or between any of the seasons, it would feel exactly as correct. This could happen anywhere in there, because it's just a story on its own involving the guy in the metal suit and his little puppet buddy. Like, that's it. That's all that happens here. There's no lore stuff, no mythology, no continuing of the continuity, no big, setups of, that guy's going to be important later. That's a guy we've seen before. That's a guy that we're going to see again. Nobody shows up and says, I will see you soon in another movie, Mandalorian. There's no after or during credits shit where a guy pops up in a hologram and says, it's a good thing the Mandalorian doesn't know what we're planning to do to the Republic. No, none of that shit. None of that shit. There is no setting up another movie, no setting up another... None. You know what it reminds me of? And I know that this will age me. It reminds me of when, like, 90s anime shows... because I know anime does their movies different now. Like, the movies are like the season breaks, or they pay off storylines. It reminds me of when 90s anime shows would do their movies because the show was on break. And you'd watch it, and you'd realize that this did not give a fuck for whatever was happening on the show. Like, you'd watch it, and they'd just be fighting a cool guy, and it would be the coolest fight shit that had ever happened in the show. But you'd have to look at it and go, wait a minute. When did they fight this guy? Did this happen on the way to Namek or on the way back from Namek? Are they still on Namek at this point? Can they even use that power right now? When did they fight this? But it didn't matter because it was the coolest shit you'd ever seen them do. And in the English dub version, they would like loop some new metal onto it, and it would be the sickest fight you'd ever seen. And then it would, when you pick back up the show, it would be just, did that even happen? Did they fight that guy? Did any of that matter? Didn't matter if it didn't matter. But the plot of this one is basically that Mandalorian and Grogu get involved in some business involving the Hutts, and they handle the business with the Hutts, and then they go off and get back into, presumably, whatever they're doing on the show. Did any of this matter? Who knows? It was a cool way to spend about 120 minutes in the movie theater watching Star Wars shit happen. Badass. Loved it. I love that. I love that I can just go in, watch some Star Wars stuff, and it doesn't have to be part of my homework for the other rest of Star Wars. This is a bunch of action figures punching each other and shooting lasers at each other. There's a guy who shows up to be like a fight scene, a couple of fight scenes for The Mandalorian, and if this was a guy that we'd seen before on the TV show, I think I might have forgotten. I don't remember if they say what his name is. He might have been in the credits. I don't know. I was looking to see if I got messages during the movie at that point, because I put my phone away like a grown-up. But it doesn't matter, because he's cool. He's got cool weapons. He does cool in fight scenes. And he has a different hat so that you can tell him apart from the other bad guys. And he looks awesome in his fight scene. And if he has a name, I will find out when my nephew asks me for his action figure. Because this is a fucking Star Wars movie, and that's how characters work in these. Alright? And we'd all do well to fucking remember that. There's so many new, cool, weird little guys in this one. Fucking big snake monsters, crazy frog guys. I know that crazy frog guy describes like a dozen other dudes in Star Wars, but now there's like new crazy fang-having frog guys. They got Sigourney Weaver in this, and she's basically here so the movie can be like, hey guys, look, Sigourney Weaver's here. She's sometimes a serious actress, and we've got her saying Star Wars words. Isn't that crazy? Martin Scorsese doing an alien voice, ain't that nuts? I just had a really good time watching the puppets and the aliens and the spaceships do shit, man. I don't know what to tell you. It's Star Wars. Do I got criticisms? Yeah, like I said, they could turn the lights up a little bit, use more colors. They did a couple robots with stop motion because nerds like me think that's cool. I didn't think it was cool. I think they should do more of that. It is kind of amusing that it's been like, what, 30 years since they first did it in the special editions, and they still can't make the Hutts not look like shit with CGI, because like Jabba the Hutt was only ever designed to be just a big pile of rubber that guys were puppeteering from inside, making the mouth move when he would go, "Wokachu, waga, waga, waga." And like that was never meant to make physical sense. Like, what the hell is Jabba even shaped like? Why does a slug have sort of a torso and arms? Does he even have feet under there? We don't know. But now they do them in CGI, and they have to figure out how this ridiculously designed creature moves around, and it just never looks good. And now they've got like 3 or 4 different Hutt characters in this one, and they all look different degrees of bad in CGI. Like, it looks fine, I guess, but it still just doesn't look good. They've never figured out what the texture of that is supposed to be, or where the different parts of them begin or end. But on the other hand, they got Jeremy Allen White doing the voice, so isn't it funny that there's a Hutt that just sounds like a regular guy? I'm pretty sure he's playing the guy who was like the little son of Jabba guy from the first terrible Clone Wars movie. So that's fun. That's a nice callback. And he's a fun character, but the CGI for them just always looks bad whenever they do the Hutts in CGI, having them try to like move around and not look stupid. But like, other than that, that's the only thing that really looks bad in it. The rest of it looks really cool. It probably sounds like I'm overselling this. You're almost not prepared for how much of this is just, look, we figured out how to make the Baby Yoda puppet walk around and move around like a puppet, so we are going to show the shit out of it in this one. And there's a lot of it, and it looks cool. Like, they really know that it is just cool to have a puppet walk around and, you know, make baby noises and do Force stuff, and we're going to do the hell out of it, and it looks great. So much of this is almost a silent movie, watching puppets walk around and make goo-goo noises at each other, and I'm here for it. So yeah, fuck it. I call this a 9 out of 10. I thought it was terrific. 9 out of 10 for The Mandalorian and Grogu. I like it. It's a Star Wars. I had a good time. Bring on the next season of that one when Rosario Dawson is orange. I like that one too.